Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well out there today. Welcome into what I'm going to call Monday Madness in the stock market. Unbelievable. I don't know who has planned this earnings week out, but Monday, what is going on? Normally Monday's like an easy day to ease you into the week, but tonight it's going to go absolutely bonkers. We'll take a look at that and some other things coming up this week. And we'll talk about some of the UK stocks as well, because it is also a pretty busy week on the US front as well, and get you ready for the stock market as always. So before we do, I just want to say thank you for all the people that joined the Patreon over the weekend and access the exclusive content and support the YouTube channel. I think we had 6 members: Jono, Justin, Ryan, Yash, William and Stephen, who joined over the weekend. So yeah, thank you so much for you guys that joined, and as always, thank you to you guys that support the eToro as well. Currently up 31% year to date compared to the S&P's 6%, and outperforming the stock market by 5x so far this year. Not too bad at all. So let's go on to this week. So Monday, I mean, I don't know who has planned this out. To be honest with you, I'm actually really going to struggle as well to look at these earnings because I'm actually out tonight. So it's one of those awkward things, you know, where you go out and then you're like looking at your phone and you're like, yeah, I'm still really interested. I'm just starting to read these earnings that are coming through. So Monday so far, we had Berkshire Hathaway that reported on the weekend. Wayfair I've not actually looked at their earnings yet. They're probably out right about now as I record this video, to be fair. Tyson Foods are reporting, and then we get onto the close. Look at this for a close. So Palantir, I mean, unbelievable year for Palantir. Well done to any of you guys that are owning the shares, by the way. Up 540%, so that's absolutely smashed it, and that's one of those stocks that, you know, were the best times to buy in those 2022 stock market dips. You have the potential to buy absolute gems at crazy prices, and obviously Palantir was clearly one of those stocks that maybe should have been bought up, and some of you guys might have been buying that one. Personally, for me, I never bought Palantir. I was buying other stocks like this one that's going to come up in a minute. But that is absolutely ridiculous. And has anybody seen Sasha Yashin out there at the moment? Is he okay? I mean, you can see why he deleted all his stock market videos, can't you, when you start looking at Palantir share price. Hims and Hers are reporting. So we've got Hims and Hers as well coming up tonight. More than likely, my video tomorrow will be a review of their earnings and doing a bit of a look into what's going on with Hims and Hers. Looking at the stock, whatever happens, I'll say this, you know, we're up 250% in the last year. If the stock market wants to throw it lower tonight, they throw it lower, whatever. Anything can happen in the short term. Long term, we're up, and I'm sure that Hims and Hers will continue to execute as we keep going ahead in the future. All we want to see is a good financial update. So if we do get the typical Hims and Hers, where we get the nice revenue B, the nice EPS B, and we get the hike up, that'd be amazing. The numbers do look pretty tough to beat. I mean, to go from 0.16 to 0.23 and 74% year-over-year growth, they do look tough, so we'll see what happens. Although the comps do get easier, and looking at 2026, I like the look of 2026 at the moment. Only 20% revenue guidance expected. Not bad, because when we came into this year, I think the guidance was like 45% or 50% already, so really high expectations. So it looks good for 2026. Looking what's going to be the key thing for me, I'm obviously there's going to be a lot of talk about the GLP-1 side of it, what's going on, talk about what happened. I don't think they'll talk too much about it, but obviously they talk about Novo Nordisk and what happened there, and you know what's going forward. Any new product launches would be really cool to hear what's going on from that point of view. Obviously I think they had like the blood testing new product that's coming out sometime soon as well. So yeah, they're always, Hims and Hers are really good earnings to listen to. I'm sure it'll move. Hims and Hers historically does move on earnings, normal double-digit percentage-wise. Watch it. This will be the one where it doesn't move, but we'll see what happens with Hims and Hers. So yeah, and then we've got MercadoLibre. No idea why MercadoLibre has decided to move from a Wednesday to a or Thursday. Is it normally MercadoLibre report to a Monday? So just joining the fun. Same again. Another good year from MercadoLibre, up 33%. The numbers look okay for them to beat. So EPS from $10 to $11. I think they're going to beat that. I think you'll see MercadoLibre coming into potentially maybe towards the $12, $13 range. So we'll see what happens there. Revenue growth of 31%. I would expect them to come in stronger than that. I would expect maybe high 30s. So we'll see if they do come in that point of view. Guidance looks pretty good for the year after as well. And, you know, you start looking at the valuation, and on a forward P now, it's 45 times earnings, considering how much they beat EPS guidance by as well. And this is this current year. So I think it'll be even lower than this. I think we're probably around about 40ish right now, and then the beats that they do on it, you're probably about 35 times earnings for MercadoLibre right now on a forward P, which isn't too bad at all. So yeah, I would expect a strong bounce from MercadoLibre, 5 to 10% up. Although we have seen it before where they go, this is one of these quarters where we're going to invest really heavy into the business. The market goes, we don't like sacrificing short-term profitability. And then they realise, we've seen it before, they realise later on, actually, that was a great decision. And then the share price goes rallies. So we'll see what happens with MercadoLibre. I'm expecting good earnings for them. Axon are reporting, and that's the kind of crazy Monday. Moving on to Tuesday, Pfizer reporting. I tell you what, there's some... When you look at this healthcare space at the moment, there's some stocks absolutely sunk in there between Pfizer, between Oscar Health. They're reporting, Novo Nordisk are reporting. Who's the other one that's having a bit of a stinker at the moment? United Health, of course. You look at some of this healthcare space at the moment, and I'm thinking, all these healthcare stocks are going through a tough time, but they'll have the day again. You'll come back in 2 or 3 years' time, and some of these stocks will really rebound from this point of view, and you'll be like, I wish I bought something in the healthcare space. The same thing happened in the healthcare space, and I believe it was either 2018 or 2019. The healthcare space went through a bit of a tough time then as well, and obviously from then they all bounced back significant amounts. It's looking very similar, and I'm thinking, it's not a space that I like to invest in that much, the healthcare space. But I'm seeing all these stocks dipping. I'm thinking, I've got to maybe go for one here, and I don't know which one I'm going to go for. What do you think? Which one would you go for? Would you go for Pfizer, Oscar, Novo, United Health? Which one are you going for out there? Let me know. Caterpillar reporting, BP reporting, Lemonade. That's been on a flyer, but I looked at the financials, and there's still a ton of way to go before they turn that around. AMD reporting as well. That's a big one. That's a big one for me. AMD that are going to report. Obviously cracking rally that's been on 42% year to date. Looking at the numbers, I think they're beatable. 27% year over year growth. Obviously a little bit more on the EPS side of it. I expect them to beat these earnings. They have just hiked the prices up because of demand. You shouldn't see them come under these financials if there is the demand to be hiking up prices. I would expect a strong beat. The other thing that I'm quite optimistic about, don't want to say it too loud here, but look at the guidance for the next quarter. 0.92 to 1.16, 22% year over year revenue growth with the new 350i they've got out. Looks a bit low, doesn't it? My key things, that guidance there. So, hopefully AMD beat the numbers. I am hoping for a very strong guide there in that September period. And we'll see how much it's priced in. Obviously, you look at the stock, it's been on a good run. However, if they have the room to do a significant raise there, maybe we see AMD have a good rally. We'll see what happens there. But quietly optimistic about them AMD numbers is what I'm going to say. So they got Supermicro reporting, Arista Networks reporting, Open Door. I think that's come a bit of a meme stock now, hasn't it? I remember that was quite a popular one a few years ago, and I was like, nope, that is a company that's never going to make profit, and now it's gone that low that I think the meme stock investors are on it. Snapchat reporting, Lucid reporting, Upstart. That's interesting. Rivian, Clover Health. Moving on to the Wednesday, big open on the earnings. So we've got Uber reporting, Shopify. That's always quite a volatile one. Always solid earnings from Shopify, but sometimes the market wakes up and it goes, we love those reports, and sends it up, and sometimes they'll send it down. But always particularly good earnings from Shopify. You just know what you're getting, and it's one of those. I would actually put Shopify maybe in the category of a hold forever stock, to be fair. Oscar Health are reporting, obviously they did the prelims a couple of weeks ago and they had to warn the market these are going to be really bad. So we'll see what has happened in that time frame. I wouldn't expect any big financial update. I'm wondering if it has got slightly worse. Looking at United Health's earnings, we'll see. I'll check Oscar Health's out because it's interesting for sure. It is an interesting company. Novo Nordisk, I thought they already reported unless they've done was it the prelim results I brought out the other week? With Novo that you're looking at right now, is that a ball creeping in today? I don't know, but have I got Yahoo Finance up here to have a quick look at the stock? I think it's fallen now to 12 times forward earnings. Yeah, 12 times forward earnings, and yet I don't know if they've updated the financials on Yahoo Finance, but they're still expecting 10% growth this year. And EPS to still move up nearly 10%. Next year, 11% growth. I mean, yeah, you know what? They're having a tough time, but has this just fallen too low now at 12 times earnings and still with pretty decent growth? The only thing that makes me nervous about Novo is the pipeline. The key thing is the pipeline for these guys, and I tell you what, the next 2 years look pretty crap for it. But I'm sure it can still hang in there with like the the Wegovy weight loss. Yeah, you know what? It's maybe not as good as the Eli Lilly one, but I'm sure it's still going to do all right there. So I don't know. Temptation is definitely there, I would say, with it. Disney are reporting as well. McDonald's are reporting on the Wednesday. AppLovin, I actually really like the look of AppLovin. I don't know if I just want it a little bit cheaper, but that looks really interesting. I maybe should have bought it when it had a bit of a dip not too long ago, to be fair. Duolingo reporting. Alpha reporting. DraftKings, I mean, why have DraftKings reported on a Wednesday? Like, these guys normally report on a Friday, but yeah. Yes, which I had to check. I checked and I went on the investor relations, like, they're reporting on Wednesday, and then they're doing the conference call again on Thursday, which is really weird. So we'll see what happens with DraftKings. I actually don't have their earnings up for what they're actually forecast to do, to be fair. So I never checked. So we're going to do it together. We're going to have a look in real time what DraftKings are forecast to do here. So they are expected to see a lift in the EPS again, which is great. And 28% revenue growth. Okay, that's pretty decent, to be fair. So we'll see what's going on with DraftKings. Probably the big thing you're looking at is are they entering into the contract market? I think that's what a lot of people are going to be asking them. And if they do mention it on the conference call, it looks like they might finally have as well, the exciting thing, sport-friendly outcomes. We've known they've been pretty crap for them recently, but looking at a couple of other earnings that have been coming out in this sector, the outcomes finally look half decent for them. Jobby are reporting as well. Jobby's always interesting because, not that I own shares in them, but I own shares in another spec stock called EHang. And, Jobby at the moment basically is a no profit, no revenue company. The sales for this quarter is expected to be 59,000. So, that's incredible for a 14 billion market cap. Year to date it's up 112%. I own shares in EHang, and EHang's doing okay, to be fair. It's up. Oh no, it's had a bit of a pullback. I didn't realise it had a pullback last week. It's only up 7% now, apparently. But you look at EHang, and EHang currently has an actual product that works, and they're actually selling stuff, and they're currently making 180 million of sales, and yet EHang is currently valued at a 1 billion market cap, and Jobby, which has no products and no sales, is currently valued at 10 times the market cap of EHang, which just doesn't make sense. So I am going to watch those that Jobby earnings report come in and call them crap and think about why EHang is just not so much more higher than where Jobby is, but we'll see. Celsius are reporting. I am going to be looking forward to looking at Celsius earnings. I obviously don't own the stock anymore, but I feel like when I look at Celsius, the share price has rallied up a lot since they announced the last acquisition, up nearly 100%. They are supposed to see some bump up in the financials, but all of that is acquisition related, and it's fooling the market there. The market's having the wool over their eyes. So what I'll be staring at is the actual report, and we're going to see them Celsius numbers, which I think are going to come in a little bit weak, and we're going to see if the market once again gets fooled by the acquisition numbers rather than looking at the Celsius numbers. And I'm going to be interested to see if they disclose the Celsius numbers separate to the acquisition of Alani as well. That's going to be really interesting to look at. Eli Lilly reporting as well. Sony, not too much else I'm interested on there. After the close, trade desk, that normally moves a little bit. That actually got quite close to me where I was close to buying it, to be fair. Never pulled the trigger on it. Block are reporting. I'm concerned about Block. I think Block could potentially come in with some bad numbers. The last earnings were really poor. Like, they spooked me, they were that poor. And looking at this quarter, if we just have a quick look at what they're expected to do. So they're expected, a big downgrade in the EPS. Look at that. Only 2% growth. The key thing is going to be this, the guidance as well going forward. My concerns is, and this is why I've sold out my Block position, at the moment it looks like PayPal's Venmo's taking big market share from Block. And it really concerned me in the last quarter. And if they do some poor financials again and that Cash App looks weak, I think that theory might be proven. So I'm keen to look at what's going on there with Block. Pinterest, that's actually getting towards not too bad valuations there. Atlassian, Take-Two, Twilio are reporting. That Thursday's interesting, to be fair. A lot of interesting companies there. Fubo TV are reporting as well, Wendy's. So yeah, that's everything for this on the US side. The interesting thing is when we kind of moved out from like the Mag 7 stocks now, and we're getting into like the mid caps. And the really interesting thing, like these mid caps, is like they're volatile. Like sometimes these stocks move massive on earnings, so you see some really interesting moves this week. So keep your eyes open. Moving to the UK stocks, there's a lot of UK stocks. Funny enough, I don't know why, but Zotefoam's in on here, and they do report. I think they report tomorrow. That's the most one that I'm looking forward to this week. A lot of UK earnings once again, but particularly not anything I'm megally interested in, to be fair. Diageo, I'm just not feeling Diageo. Obviously, we talked about BP, Domino's, Travis Perkins are reporting. On the Wednesday, 3i Group are reporting. For print, that's, I think a few people are interested in that. I don't know if it's on the Discord. Glencore, I think that's getting to interesting levels. Legal & General, obviously I do own that one, to be fair. See what's going on there. On the Thursday, WPP, Mears Group are reporting. Nothing in, or Flutter reporting, that'd be interesting. Obviously, like comparing them to DraftKings earnings. So yeah, nothing too stand out for me on the UK side, but a lot of moves there. And if there's anything that does drop out of nowhere, it could be an interesting thing to look at. So yeah, it's a busy week. There'll be some movers anyway. So I hope that gives you a bit of gets you ready for Monday Madness, and we'll see what happens going forward. Obviously, straight away, by the time some of you guys even probably see this video, obviously the Monday Madness on the evening will kick off, and let's see what happens with these three, and there'll be interesting moves going on there for sure. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow, where we more than likely will be talking about Hims and Hers, but we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in a bit.